The Other Side of the Fence by Eliss. Chapter 1. As the moving truck rumbled its way down the hill, all the neighbourhood kids at once became still. The holiday house would be empty no more, now the blue house had a new name on its door. The kids all gathered in their lakeside retreat, a wooden tree house which kept off the heat. Here they could watch every move that was made, and so that's what they did in the cool leafy shade. The hours ticked by and the snacks were all gone. Both Jessie and Reuben had started to yawn. Just as they planned to go home for tea, they saw the sight they'd been waiting to see. A neat white van drove up the driveway, and 5 hopped out without a delay. There was Mum, Dad, and 3 little boys, all nicely dressed and clutching their toys. Before they could play with their toys in the dirt, their mum said, "Let's not make a mess of your shirt." Then she shuffled them in and shut the door tight, as if hiding them away from the day's last light. Said Ruby, which refocused attention. "Does someone have something they'd like to mention?" Her twin brother Jack thought they looked a bit square. Tuck added, "I wanted to mess up their hair." "They seem all right," Jonah insisted, so those feeling negative promptly resisted. Ruby was thankful for a chance to chime in, saying we should look further than what's on the skin. "We'll all take shifts and begin observation, but best start tomorrow to avoid starvation." Then 9 little bodies climbed down from the tree and sped back to their houses, 1, 2, and 3. The children all lived in a small cul-de-sac with a park at the end and the lake further back. They were all very different, as you will soon see, but they all came together up there in the tree. House number 1 held the family page, 5 members in all, with 2 the same age. There was Mr., Mrs., and Lily, aged 4, who twins Jack and Ruby thought was a bore. They were both 8 and never slowed down, even when their mum chased in her dressing gown. Their dad was a builder, and he built their house. He loved his 3 kids and hard-working spouse. In house number 2 was the Wilson clan, who was led by a real-life action man. Mr. Wilson was strong and designed water fountains. On weekends he fished and loved climbing mountains. His wife loved her sports and worked in a gym where she taught aerobics and how to stay slim. They had 2 kids who were Freya and Jonah, who loved to play with their big dog Fiona. Then next to the park, in the house number 3, were the Lovejoys, who had a large family tree. There was Nan and Pop in the granny flat, who would sit in the sun and read to their cat. Then comes Mum and Dad, which makes 5, who grew organic food, which was starting to thrive. Now for the kids, well, Sailor was first. She often was bossy and kept her lips pursed. Next to arrive was 5-year-old Tuck, who was very clumsy and kept a white duck. Then Reuben, aged 3, followed closely by Jessie, and 3 pigs in a pen that made the yard messy. 5 laying hens that escaped from their coop to eat all the leeks that were meant for the soup. Then finally each child had 1 guinea pig, so they're harder to count than a fast Irish jig. 8 humans, 1 cat, 5 hens, and 1 duck. 4 small and 3 large pigs, all covered in muck. That gives a grand total of 22 Lovejoys, which filled the house and made lots of noise. That leaves 1 more house, and it was blue. Its occupants a mystery because they were new. I'll let you in on what they're about, but the others will just have to figure them out. The Skinners were stressed and had lived in the city, and they didn't have pets, not even a kitty. The mum worked from home in online sales and spoke with an accent because she was from Wales. Mr. Skinner was a high school music teacher, and his balding head was a prominent feature. He found a new job and transferred here, where the skies are blue and the water is clear. They had 3 little boys, 6 and under. The littlest Ethan was afraid of thunder. Harley was 4 and loved playing tricks, like filling Mum's handbag full of leaves and sticks. The oldest was Will, and he loved to draw, but Mum was worried he'd mess up her floor. So they didn't go out much. They just watched TV. And they'd never been fishing or climbed a tree. Will the Skinners fit in? We'll just wait and see. I can't tell you that. You won't hear it from me. This is the story of how they made sense of life on the other side of the fence.